When you're a Metroid fan, it's never a bad idea to stick to the old classics.
Let's go!
I played through Metroid Fusion and
Indeed.
beat it. It's one of my handy dandy nifty tifty ambassador games on my 3DS.
Okay. Okay, so you played it on 3DS.
Yeah.
Very cool.
What'd you play it on?
Wii U.
Ho ho.
Oh. It was one of my last Club Nintendo rewards. I
Okay.
almost said my Nintendo, but I knew that wasn't right.
Oh, good. I was gonna be like, how much was yours? Because mine was free. but-
My name is Street too.
That's cool. What's crazy is this game came out in 2002, same time as Metroid Prime.
Mhm.
That's always a fun fact. 2 Metroid games in one day. That's awesome.
Yes.
But even though it's so old, 14 years old, it's still our newest game in the Metroid timeline.
That's right.
So if you want to know what's up with Samus, you gotta play this game
Mhm.
because this is where we left her.
Indeed.
It's my favorite 2D Metroid one so far.
Really? Even more than Super Metroid?
I've never beaten it, so when I
Oh, bro.
so when I say so far, I mean it's better than the original,
Bro.
which I gave a 5 out of 10. So, but it's really good. I kept getting struck by how similar it is to Other M, and in fact, one of our viewers, Glenn, wrote a blog on the Two Button Crew website about how similar Metroid Other M and Metroid Fusion
Yes.
are. They really do share a lot in common. A lot of the power-ups, some of the bosses. What else? I mean, stackable weapon system,
Yes, characters.
characters, definitely.
The way
But-
that the map is laid out. Did you say that?
and the setting.
Yeah, so much. So much.
And when I say stackable weapons, it's like you're not switching beams. Your beam just gets all these
Gets
improved
better.
attributes as you go. It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a cool story.
Mhm.
The story of like what happened with your suit. And you go into surgery and you get like a power suit surgically removed and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So Samus in the timeline still doesn't have her normal armor, right?
That's true.
There's the X threat, and the X is this really cool like species of things that like inhabit people, like possess animals, and bad guys. Like it
Takes over them.
yeah. So you get to see some of the old like classic Metroid bosses and stuff, but they're in new forms. They're a little bit mutated by the X. They're more vicious and stuff. So cool storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Stackable weapons was cool. There's not too much backtracking at all in the game. Like, there's, I don't know, 5-6 sectors and you go down there, but like when you go back, you really pretty much go down different routes.
Mm-hmm.
Like you go somewhere else, you get a new weapon, and then you're able to go backtrack, open a new door, and then like this whole other section of the map. Not a lot of backtracking, which is very nice. There's an interesting storyline with Adam. Adam, the computer, which Samus nicknames Adam, is very ominous, and like I was really thinking that he was gonna be a bad guy because he gets like upset if you.
Is this their official spoiler warning?
Yep.
If they haven't played this game that's 14 years old.
He gets like upset if you upgrade without his permission, or like, you know, go get this upgrade or something. Like if you stumble across an upgrade, he's like, I wasn't expecting you to do that and stuff, and or I didn't say that you could unlock security clearance 4 and everything.
Yeah.
He's really suspicious.
Kind of like another M.
Yeah.
Like, why can't I? What's it?
Hair. So
Be gone.
you're getting invaded by the X.
Yes, the X was trying to take me over, but it didn't.
There's this very cool setting. I like how they set this up. Like it's some very varied atmospheres, but it's all within one ship, like one unit, and they do it to like replicate habitats for these creatures that they're studying. So it's great. It puts it all there within reach. You know, lava, ice, nocturnal areas, everything all within one ship, and all these different creatures, and it makes storyline sense. So that's pretty cool. What do you think about SAX?
Oh, scary, man. It made it. I'm pretty sure it made it on top 10 villains list.
Shoulda.
So scary.
I think it was Dark Samus / SAX because they were so
Yeah.
similar. SAX is similar to Dark Samus, but it's awesome.
Yeah.
All of the encounters with it were very scary. Like,
Yeah.
you will stumble onto SAX and you will not be powerful enough. You
Oh,
must
no.
run.
You have to run.
And each shot does like 3 of your energy tanks gone.
Seriously.
And sometimes it's very difficult to get away from her.
And
You have
that's
to hide.
Yeah, and that's what's crazy about this game is that, or crazy about SAX at least, is like with Dark Samus, it's like, that's, Dark Samus, I'm gonna have to fight her, it's gonna be a battle of power. Whereas like SAX, you know you can't fight her, and B, it's like scary.
Yes.
Like Dark Samus isn't scary. I don't think so.
More cool.
More cool and like, I'm afraid. Ridley, it's like Dark Samus, Ridley's a little bit more scary. SAX is like super scary.
That one close-up shot of her where her eyes are like white. Oh my goodness.
We used that clip in one of our thumbnails, huh?
Yeah. So, very memorable villain.
Indeed.
And I guess SAX actually predates Metroid Prime or Dark Samus because
That's true.
You don't really fight Dark Samus until Metroid Prime 2.
Indeed.
So, it's very challenging in places. Like, I got really upset about the spider boss. Do you remember the spider boss?
Yes. Spider Boss was difficult.
Very difficult. It's like one of those screensavers that bounces around the screen like, what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
know what you're saying,
Like the
the DVD.
DVD thing. It's like that. But every time it touches you, he like brings you up, slams you down, and does so
Incredible
much.
amount.
Like, you get that done to you 3 times and you're toast. And my wife was like, maybe you should put that game down, because I was like,
Now,
and you don't even get to save right before it. You have to backtrack.
well, but that is the nice thing about playing it on 3DS or Wii U, is that you can put a save state right before you fight the boss. Did you ever do
Not
that?
3DS.
Why not? It's not a virtual console game?
It's not in that sense. Like, if I touch the screen, it just gives me information about, like, it says if you close the system, it doesn't put it into sleep.
I apologize.
That's all the touchscreen does.
I apologize.
So, that would have been nice. I would use those save states liberally. Like, if I got a good hit on the spider, I would drop another save spot. You know what I'm saying?
The boss that I had a problem with was Nightmare.
Yeah.
Which is the freaky thing.
That was tough.
Oh, jeez. I died like 4 or 5 times at least.
Yeah. There is a pretty good method for beating him that I found out. So
Yeah.
Yeah. So the main thing I didn't like, and really the only thing I didn't like, is the random bombing throughout the game. Like, you have to go into Morph Ball and lay bombs pretty much everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And in a lot of other Metroid games, there are little indications if something is weak, ready to be bombed, if there's anything hidden behind it. But in this game, you really just have to cover the area in bombs to find out where you have to go sometimes, with no indication if something is a breakable block.
Yeah.
So I didn't like that. I like being able to see the visual cues and kind of catch on to it and say, I should put a Morph Ball bomb there.
Yeah, like I figured that out as opposed to I figured it out because there were no other options left to me. Yeah.
Yep, and then once you get the power bomb, you can just lay a power bomb in the room and it'll explode the whole thing, and that saves you a little bit of time, but it uses up your power bombs.
Sure.
So, and that is pretty prominent throughout the game, and that was a little bit of a drag. But overall, this game is really awesome. Awesome Metroid game, and I will give it an 8.5 out of 10.
Ooh.
I really enjoyed it.
That's really good.
What would you give it?
I'd probably give it something similar. At least an 8 out of 10, probably 8.5 out of 10.
Sweet.
It's great.
And I'm just wondering, like, I went and looked at reviews afterwards and got 8.5s,
Oh,
9s, and a few 10s.
Yeah.
And this game was so critically acclaimed. I'm just wondering, why in the world stop making them, Nintendo?
Seriously.
Why? Why has it been 14 years since the last 2D Metroid game?
Yeah, it was the last 2D Metroid game, the most recent in the timeline.
Yeah. And people loved it.
Oh, other
So
nobody liked, so we're not going to give them any more Metroid.
yeah. So Metroid Dread was in development, and we made a whole episode about that with some spicy new information. So you'll be able to check that out. But if you haven't played this game or it's been a while, like for me, I may have beaten this game twice because on my save there's another file that has been beaten, but I just don't remember.
You don't remember
ever beating it. So
this one.
So if it's been a while, you'll enjoy playing this again like I did.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of the crew.
Don't forget to check out the website, especially that blog that we were talking about. We have a blog every Sunday.
Yeah.
Go back and read Glenn's blog on Metroid, Other M, and Metroid Fusion.
Boom. See you guys next time.
Signing out.